on getting to the big leagues. What you were really poised to make a breakthrough. I think 2 years ago, and it kind of went backwards a little bit. Can you just kind of walk us through what went backwards and what allowed you to take another step forward?
Yeah. In 2019, after I got promoted to AAA, it felt like I was, when I was in AA, I was like, I'm close. I feel good. I feel ready. Got to AAA, struggled, which was definitely it was tough, being that close and then hitting the roadblock. But it gave me. I went into the next offseason knowing what I needed to work on, and I think just developing the third pitch, the slider, has been probably the biggest thing for me to get better and be ready for this level.
What would you describe the roadblock as? Was it simply not being able to command the curveball, or was there more to it?
I think part of it was a little bit of trust, but yeah, I think the curveball was probably the biggest thing. I couldn't land it, and then I relied on the heater, and they started hitting it. So, and then I started trying to pinpoint the heater, which means more walks. But then, yeah, the slider has been easier to command, and then you don't have to rely on the heater as much. So.
Last thing, just correct me if I'm wrong here. I thought after 18, you were part of the group that went up to Driveline, like DeMarcus and Taylor and some other guys. Were you part of that group?
No, I wasn't.
You're not. Okay. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Other questions for Joe? Raise your hand. Dave.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, first of all, congratulations again.
Thank you.
We had a shot on TV of a lot of folks going crazy for you in the stands. They come from a big family. Was that family, and how many made it?
Yeah, my mom and dad flew out yesterday or 2 days ago in the morning. And then 4 of my brothers flew out yesterday morning, and then my sister-in-law, 2 of my sister-in-laws, and my nephew. So about half. About half of them.
Wow. Okay, yeah, it was an awesome scene up there, man. And then, so what did you guys do to celebrate afterward?
We just went out to dinner, hung out, just talked, kind of embraced it. Honestly, we didn't do anything too crazy, but we just hung out.
Last thing for me, man. Any thoughts or moment that came to mind for you as all of this was happening, right? Whether it was when you were called up or waiting to come into your first game. Is there a moment that you reflect on along the way that was maybe a critical moment for you, or a big turning point moment for you? Maybe it was a point of inflection where you had to make a decision to keep going or not keep going, anything like that?
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of those moments. I think last year was one of the tougher years, just not playing, not having that season, having it taken away. And then you don't play for almost a year, and then you question yourself, you still got it, you lose the confidence. But that's my support system with my family and my girlfriend, and those people have been definitely a big help in motivating me, keeping me going and fighting for it.
Hey, I have to apologize. I know I said that was my last thing a second ago. One more thing. What did you do last year to keep moving the ball forward for yourself?
Yeah, I actually went to Driveline last year for three weeks for pitch development. I just wanted to get out there in front of the technology to try to figure out if there was another pitch I could add, what would be the best avenue to go. So we played with splitters and changeups and two seams, and then obviously the slider was the one that we were like, this could be something I could use. So then I had that going into the off season of last year to try to get ready for this year.
Okay, let's go to Jared.
do I have this right? 7 brothers, 3 sisters?
Yeah.
What was that? I guess first of all, what are the age ranges, and then what was that like growing up with all those siblings and I guess built-in friends for you on a daily basis?
Yeah, we're pretty much everybody's about 2 years apart, give or take a month or two. Oldest sister, then 2 boys, then 2 girls, then 6 boys to finish it off. So yeah, growing up it was wild. Definitely built-in best friends for sure. Big support group, like we always get together. Everybody's really close, but it was crazy growing up for sure. But it was fun. It was fun.
The built-in best friends. I'm curious, like any part of where you are now, can you look back and attribute to just, I don't know whether it was one of your brothers who helped you or just the I'm sure there was a lot of competitiveness maybe amongst you and your siblings, like any part of that kind of helped develop the person or the pitcher you are now?
Oh, for sure. I mean, growing up, it was during summer, we would all invite one friend over, and then we'd go play a full-on baseball game at the park. Everybody would have their one friend. But yeah, my brothers and my dad have been very supportive and also have been great when I need somebody to, kick me in the butt, get me going again. And my older brothers for sure have been that for me. There's been times where I need my brother to tell me to, hey, let's go,
And last one, you mentioned driveline, and you talked about going up and figuring out which pitch would fit best and ultimately deciding on the slider. What's the process of going through the options and saying, no, this isn't it, no, this isn't it, slider, yes, this is the one that works? How do you kind of come to that decision?
I think just how I could repeat it, because when in the first stages, nothing really looks that great. Like the slider might slide once out of every 10 pitches, or the changeup you might throw a good one, but the slider was the most consistent one. The shape of it wasn't necessarily there, but the consistency was the reason we kind of stuck with it. With the splitter and the changeup, it was just kind of like all over the place. It just depended on which throw it was.
Joe.
Levi.
So I know it was just one inning, 1 inning at a time, but I feel like there's always maybe a little bit of question of can I do it until you do it. Can you put into words what it felt like sort of walking off the mound after that first inning and going, all right, now I've done it? Like,
yeah, I mean, it was pretty wild. It was one of those moments where like you're in the moment, and then after it happens, you look back on it and you're just like, man, I just kind of did it. I wasn't trying to try too hard or anything like that. But the coaches have been, since the day I got here, it was, you're here for a reason, believe in it. Don't try to do too much. Don't, you're here for a reason. So that's what I tried to remember the whole time was, I belong here. I got to just don't try too hard. Just keep doing what you're doing. And that was my mindset in the situation for sure.
and then I apologize in advance for even going out this request for a party trick, but can you run through your siblings' names top to bottom?
Yeah. So my oldest sister, Charlotte. And then it goes 2 boys, Luke and Josh. And then 2 more girls, Leah and Mary. And then 6 boys, which it's Ethan, Sam, me, Jacob, Daniel, and Andrew.
Impressive. All right,
Yeah.
thanks, man.
Okay, last one, Evan.
Wait, I have more party tricks. So, like, when you guys invited other people over, was it like the Barlow boys and girls versus the friends, or did you divide it up? How did that work?
It would be mixed and matched, but like my buddy would always be on the other team.
Okay.
So he might be on 3 of my brothers, and I might have 3 of my brothers' buddies, but it was kind of mixed and matched.
Hey, and when you went up to Drive-On last year, what time of year was that? When was it?
I want to say maybe September-ish.
Okay.
Early September, I believe.
And you were up there for 10 days usually with those things, or 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks.
Okay. Hey, and then the last thing is, you know, you were in big league camp in 19. Were you there? You were there again last year, right?
I was in big league
Or not?
camp in, was it 19? 2020?
Right.
Yeah. So I was in,
You were part of the alt site last year.
right.
What was that like to be that close and then again not be able to participate in that part of it?
Yeah. So when it first happened, it's frustrating. You know, it's like, feels like you take a step back. But yesterday after my outing and stuff, I had a chance to reflect on the last year or two, and it probably was the best thing that's happened to me, because it gave me a chance to learn, appreciate things a little more. I had a chance to play with the slider, where if I was in the alt side, it might have just been me trying to do whatever I can to get to the big leagues last year, where I didn't have the leeway to kind of play with something. So it was definitely tough last year, but now I'm extremely grateful that it worked out the way that it did.
Perfect. Great answer. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yep.